Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu urges all states to implement the National Education Policy 2020 in letter and spirit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says 5 states' assembly election results have put a stamp of approval on BJP's pro-poor and pro-active governance. 11th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly to begin on 19th March. And World Health Organization advises Ukraine to destroy any dangerous pathogens kept in research laboratories. As we start a bulletin, we appeal our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has urged all states to implement the National Education Policy NEP 2020 in letter and spirit, calling it a visionary document. Speaking at a foundation-laying ceremony of Sikkim's Kanchenjunga State University at Dargu in South Sikkim, he said the NEP lays special emphasis on pre-primary, primary and vocational education, improving the quality of teaching, teachers' training, inclusion of technology and flexibility and freedom in higher education. Naidu said that NEP will help in meeting the demands of the 21st century. He appreciated Sikkim government's initiatives, including the constitution of Sikkim Education Reforms Commission to implement NEP 2020, as well as Sikkim's gross enrollment ratio of 75.8% at a higher education level, which is the highest in the country. He said the setting up of a new state university will be another step in Sikkim's implementation of the NEP. Naidu said such universities will not only provide quality education but also drive growth of the region by providing enormous opportunities for the youth. Naidu also stressed on education institutions' global linkages in areas of research. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the 5 states' assembly election results have put a stamp of approval on BJP's pro-poor and pro-active governance. Addressing party Karyakartas at party headquarters in New Delhi last evening after emerging victorious in 4 states, Modi said despite being in government in 3 states of Uttar Pradesh, Goa and Manipur, the vote share of the BJP has increased. The Prime Minister said the way our mothers and sisters and the youth have given full support to the BJP is in itself a big message. Modi said over the years, the government has not only improved the governance delivery system, but also brought transparency in the entire process. Modi said BJP assures the poor that government facilities will definitely reach everyone. In his address, BJP President Jagat Prakash Nadda said people once again reposed their faith and put their stamp of approval on Prime Minister's welfare programs and policies. The 11th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly is scheduled to begin on 19th March with the address of the Governor, election of the Deputy Speaker and motion of thanks to the Governor's address. This is to be followed by laying of annual administrative reports, presentation of Assembly Committee reports, introduction of government bills, presentation of supplementary demand for grants for the year 2021-22, presentation of Comptroller and Auditor General report, and discussion on matters of urgent public importance. The state budget for the year 2022-23 is scheduled to be presented on 22nd March, which will be followed by discussion on the budget and discussion and voting on the demand for grants for the year 2022-23. The session will be adjourned sine die on 24th March. The World Health Organization advised Ukraine to destroy any dangerous pathogens being kept in research laboratories to prevent any potential spills that could harm the public amid the conflict with Russia, a news agency reported. Biosecurity experts feared that bombardments on Ukrainian cities have raised the risk of an escape of disease-causing pathogens should any of those facilities be damaged. Like many other countries, Ukraine has public health laboratories researching how to mitigate the threats of dangerous diseases affecting both animals and humans, including most recently COVID-19. Home Minister Amit Shah said all central agencies should join crime and criminal tracking network and systems. Shah said Home Secretary should hold a meeting with all the chiefs of central agencies in this regard. Speaking at the 37th Foundation Day celebrations of the National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB, in New Delhi, the minister said NCRB data should be used by all states to form yearly strategy for their police force. Shah said the data should be used for multi-purpose and in a multi-dimensional way for crime control. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News. The Central Board of Secondary Education (CBSE) has released a routine of the second-term board examination for Class 10 and 12th. In a circular issued on Friday, the board has informed that the board exam will start from 26th of next month and will conclude on 15th June. Keeping in view the learning losses by the students during the pandemic, the board has set more gaps between the two examinations in almost all the subjects of both the classes. Other competitive examinations, including JEE Main, have been taken care of while preparing the date sheet. District Welfare Office Moguchung organized an awareness program for women beneficiaries under National Social Assistance Program on the theme Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow at Ongbangkong, Salang, Moguchung. Guest speaker Mulusen Imchen from Moguchung District Legal Services Authority said that basic human rights are provided to every individual irrespective of gender, but social evils and discrimination in society mostly affect women. Therefore, Government of India has formulated various schemes and laid down laws to assist women. Imchen said it is important to create awareness on this subject for a safer society. Guest speaker Asong Yaden from Saki One Stop Center Moguchung highlighted the services provided by the center to women in distress. Chief Electoral Officer Nagaland V. Shashank Shekhar today held a review meeting with returning officers and election officials for the conduct of biennial election to the Rajya Sabha. The meeting was held in accordance with the Election Commission of India's instructions to review various preparations such as COVID-19 protocols, arrangements for videography, and various other administrative arrangements. The biennial election to the Council of States in Nagaland will be held on 31st of March. The filing of nominations will begin from 14th March till 21st March. Nagaland Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi and Chief Minister Nipirio extended warm Tsoshu greetings to the Sangam community and the people of Nagaland. Mukhi, in his message, said Tsoshu festival marks the preparation for the arrival of spring and that it heralds the beginning of cultivation process, seeking blessings for a bountiful harvest. The governor called on the people to celebrate the festival responsibly by adhering to all COVID-19 protocols and wished all a safe and joyous festival. Chief Minister also extended his greetings and wished that the day brings blessing of good health, peace and good fortune in everyone's life. Nagaland today reported 2 new COVID-19 positive cases, both of which were from Moguchung, increasing the total cases detection in the state to 35,445. Meanwhile, the state also recorded 4 recoveries, 3 from Dimapur and 1 from Wokha. And now to end the news, here are the main points again. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urges all states to implement the National Education Policy 2020 in letter and spirit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says 5 states' assembly election results have put a stamp of approval on BJP's pro-poor and pro-active governance. 11th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly to begin on 19th March. And World Health Organization advises Ukraine to destroy any dangerous pathogens kept in research laboratories. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.